I wish he wouldn't gyrate right beside me, but you know what? He's got a style. I'll give him that.
They don't come weirder or more talented than Charles Crowley.
Crowley, in a lot of ways, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, and I mean this as a compliment, he reminds me of Goldust in that he finds a way to make you uncomfortable inside the ring. In his antics and the way he's a trickster, right? Like, he is the guy who is going to get under your skin. And at the same time, you also have to be aware that he is a big dude who can mess you up. And he's also got a hell of a lot of rhythm.
More than you or I.
That's absolutely true.
And he is just, as weird as he is, immensely talented in the ring.
And there's a reason why he is challenging for the Smash Wrestling Championship tomorrow night.
Now, while Charles Crowley has traveled the world because he gets kicked out of everywhere he goes, Vaughn Vertigo has traveled the world by his own accord. One of the most well-traveled wrestlers in all of Smash Wrestling.
Yeah, he's welcomed everywhere he goes, too. Vertigo has made a name for himself all over the world when there was no opportunity for him here. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes the roster is clogged up. When Vertigo was trying to break into Smash Wrestling, the champion at the time was Johnny Gargano, who was defending the title against Tommaso Ciampa and Sami Callihan, and Samoa Joe was here, and Chris Hero was here, and there was no opportunity for a guy like this. However, Vertigo said, I'm going to go find my opportunities elsewhere. Went to England, went to Germany, he went to Italy, he went all over Europe to build up his stock. And then when he came back, he became an entity that Smash Wrestling wanted to feature much more often.
It's almost an inverse of what Crowley's done here, where he got to start in the UK, and I joke about him getting kicked out of everywhere. He has said before he ruined British wrestling. Now he's coming to ruin Canadian wrestling. But he is kind of doing here what Vertigo tried to do in the UK, in Germany, around Europe, and establish himself, find his style, find himself as a wrestler here. So it's a really interesting clash here. Crowley probably ahead of where Vertigo was at this same point in their careers, but Vertigo coming in here with a lot more experience. He's the vet in this one.
And it's crazy to look at Vertigo and say he's the vet, seriously, but the kid started when he was 14. It blows my mind when I think about how long Vertigo's been doing this, and he's still such a young guy.
And that tells you that sometimes you see someone take a road like that and you're like, well, maybe it just won't happen for them at that point. But this guy still has a lot of years ahead, a lot of upside still to continue to tap into. It feels like every time we see him, there's another move he's added to the arsenal. The sky remains the limit for Vertigo.
And I think that next step for Vertigo is to claim the Smash Wrestling Championship. And a victory here over the number one contender will help that case. And a victory tomorrow night over the first ever Smash Wrestling champion, Matt Cross, will definitely put a feather in his cap.
Matt Cross, someone who Vertigo has looked up to, and when he was a young backyard wrestler, Vaughn Vertigo getting into it with Sebastian the Monkey here, Charles Crowley now on his game to protect Sebastian. But when Vaughn Vertigo was first as a teenager messing around with wrestling, playing the backyard wrestling video games, he was like, Matt Cross, that's a guy who's not that big. That's a guy who was doubted other places. I could do that. I could follow that path. And, I think it's going to mean a lot to him tomorrow for not just wins and losses reasons to be toe-to-toe with Matt Cross. But if he could pull off a 2-0 weekend here, he'd have to be at the top of the list.
Yeah, there's definitely something to be said about stepping in the ring with someone you've idolized your entire life, someone you've emulated your career after.
On the other hand, you're in the ring right now with someone you probably never want to have anything in common with in Charles Crowley.
While you have your hands all over his monkey.
And this is the one thing you mentioned, and it was an astute point, that Crowley does a great job getting in his opponent's head, taking them off their games. The one way we have seen people get back in Charles Crowley's head is through Sebastian the Monkey. Nice standing moonsault.
It definitely is a way to get under the skin of Crowley, but I can't imagine Vertigo has done any training regimens working out with a monkey. So the point I'm making is, while he thinks he is getting under the skin of Crowley right now, and he probably is getting under the skin of Crowley, he's also losing focus on what he needs to do right now. You should not be turning your back on Crowley.
You shouldn't do that against any opponent, but especially a guy like this who's going to use every quarter and every edge. Nice slingshot leg drop there from Crowley, and he kisses Sebastian.
Making sure Sebastian's safe. Oh, nice move there by Crowley.
A modified zigzag there gets two, and you see right away, as silly as Crowley can be, the level of striking here, the level of power in someone who, like you said off the top, bigger than you might think when you see the gyrations and the character and things like that. Crowley can go here. He's a powerful guy.
Yeah, a lot of times, and you see guys do stuff like that to maybe mask some under-delivered expectations, or they're
not with him. He's just a weirdo.
No, that's just Crowley, man. Yeah. He's a strange cat, and it's been successful for him, though.
This is, as he has said, the year of the imp in 2024. He considers himself the imp of professional wrestling, and this is his year. He's going to start it off with, he's only lost once in Smash Wrestling, so every weekend for him has been a 2-0 weekend. But if he goes 2-0 again this weekend, then he's the new Smash Wrestling champion, which is a fun story, but I don't know how comfortable Smash Wrestling is going to be with that.
And he would add his name to a very short list of guys to hold the Smash Wrestling Championship. We talked about him earlier. Matt Cross, the first ever Smash Wrestling champion. He'll be taking on Vertigo tomorrow night.
Nice running senton there from Crowley. Very varied arsenal that Crowley brings too.
But Crowley wouldn't be the first Smash Wrestling champion from England ever, though, because we still had Mark Haskins, Smash Wrestling champion after Johnny Gargano taking that championship from him.
And that goes to show you, whoever wins the Smash Wrestling, you never get there by accident. If Charles Crowley's able to pull that off, nice clothesline to the outside from Vertigo there.
Oh, look out here. Trying to punch the skull right off the shoulders.
Nobody wins the Smash title by accident. Nobody gets a #1 contendership by accident. That tells you how Crowley can go. But Vertigo in control here. Slingshot swanton.
Man. Just driving all the air out of Crowley with that one. Oh, Vertigo maybe taking too much time there, was able to recover.
And then right back to taking a little too much time off the top. Crowley catches him. Spinning power slam driver there from Crowley.
I think this capacity crowd here at the FHCC, the Franklin Horner Community Center, is getting under the skin.
And it's one thing with the gentleman who he was doing with earlier. He was just arguing with a child. Yeah, the look on your face, the people can't see it, but it tells you everything you need to know here. You think a guy who sings and dances and brings a little pet monkey to the ring would be liked by the children here at Smash Wrestling. Absolutely not. There you see some dancing.
And the dancing was giving Vertigo an opening, but that door was shut immediately with that knee. And Vertigo looks a little spaghetti-legged right now.
Nice counter there to fling Crowley to the apron.
Yeah, fortunately for Crowley, he landed on the apron there, too. That could have been a nasty fall.
Stiff forearm there. It looks like Crowley's trying to bait Vertigo to come back into that corner.
Oh, what's Crowley doing here? Look at this. Maybe a springboard cutter. No.
Catches him with a half and half. Excellent counter from Vertigo there.
And that's what Vertigo needed to do. He needed to create some separation here, give himself a breather to get a second, recalibrate, and plan his next mode of attack here.
And I think that mode of attack has to be, I mean, Crowley's on the ground right now. If you can keep him there for a little bit, Vertigo's advantage is in the speed game. It's in the aerial game. He's not going to be able to match power and striking with Crowley over the course of a longer match. There you see a nice clothesline, though.
Yeah, as the pace quickens, this is only going to favor Vertigo. Oh, look out here. Nice
He's looking
counter.
for that merry-go-down tilt-a-whirl power slam.
Beautiful leg lariat there by Vertigo.
He has some of the absolute best technique in all of wrestling with
Cover.
those and the leg lariats, the Shining Wizards. Very few as effective striking with their lower half as Vertigo. And now Crowley's on the floor outside the ring. His hat has taken a spill as well.
Yeah, what I will say about Vertigo is that he finds a way to use all of his body as an offensive weapon.
Standing moonsault to Sebastian the Monkey. Vaughn Vertigo has turned on Sebastian.
And that is not going to make Crowley happy.
Swinging neckbreaker there for the cover.
Almost like a variation of the twist of fate there off the middle rope. Like you mentioned earlier, Vertigo just constantly adding to his repertoire, constantly adding to his move list, tricks that he pulls out that maybe his opponent is not expecting. And
Yeah,
I certainly wasn't expecting to see that.
You'd think 15 or so years of wrestling, you'd run out of things to come up with, but no shortage for Vertigo. There's just an old-fashioned bicep punch.
They're using the point of his elbow, maybe trying to open up Crowley there. Oh, as Crowley goes to the face, I don't know if that's in the eyes or the nose or... Oh, look out here. Look out!
Sit-out pop-up powerbomb from Crowley. This was maybe the concern with Vertigo going to the striking game. Crowley can match it, but that's a heck of a move.
Oh, Crowley's setting him up now. Look at this. A variation of the go to sleep.
Vertigo somehow getting a shoulder up there. It was like a stormbreaker into a go to sleep. That was all sorts of innovation from Crowley.
That was interesting. That was devastating, and you can see now the frustration coming out of Crowley. He's throwing some big shots here. He's swinging for the fences.
He's being a little profane about it in his frustration as well. Crowd firmly behind Vertigo here.
And you got to keep your focus. It's like smashing a baseball to the warning track. You know, just a little bit more, you would have had it.
Vertigo with a window here.
Oh, nice roll up here.
Charles Crowley steals one.
Mr. Charles Crowley.
And that right there is why Charles Crowley tomorrow night is going to be challenging for the Smash Wrestling Championship. He finds a way to get it done.
He doesn't need to find his way over here, though.
No, I'm okay with him not being here. I'm going to put my expensive cell phone in my pocket now.
He's having it explained to him that he just won. The official has to let him know. He doesn't seem to understand. He's very upset. Never seen someone so mad about a victory.
Well, I mean, Sebastian the Monkey is still in the possession of Vaughn Vertigo. Maybe that's what he's upset about.
Uh-oh. Spank Sebastian the Monkey.
I never thought I'd see someone spank their monkey in the middle of that ring. But there it is.
Really does show you the game of inches this is, by the way. Vertigo just